So I got tracking info for what? Now forgive me if you told me about something you ordered and I've forgotten. Alright.
Flap high, 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 felp, I'm tired, plaza help, I don't want to sleep until later, flap, sleep.
I thought you were sleeping. Hey Mark. Long time no see. I'm gonna feel real silly if TAC does go back online and brings up the server again. Maybe we'll just stop playing Final Fantasy and just do that. I was honestly kind of under the impression you both were gonna go to bed, though. Yes? Oh boy. Homeless. It'll be a brief respite from a bunch of plot. And here we go, cutscene. Head on to school. There's probably going to be a level leading up to it. I don't think there should be much after that. There's probably going to be like a 20-stage boss fight.
What the hell happened here?
The Akasha.
I dare not think. A stroke of good fortune, perhaps? I hope you're right. So do I.
Good. I'm trying to... Christmas shop. I mean, Christmas in July is totally a thing. I might be biased, that's also my birthday, but... I'm trying to shop for my sister's birthday, and she told me Harry Potter Legos.
Let's see the win on next.
Are you kidding me? I cut you! I cut you! I didn't mean to do that. I hit everything though, so I guess that's good. Almost chicken. I'd like to see the movement tech for the speed run. Because in the areas where you can't sprint, I think this would be faster. Assuming it's straight and you're not going up a cliff. Or going up a slope. Homeless chicken. Insert my card. $7. Boneless chicken. Oh no, please wait. Boneless chicken. About damn time.
That's a behemoth. Who'd be mad enough to tame such a beast?
Hopefully it doesn't stand up and rip its horns off and turn it into a sword. For a spinning claw sword of murder. The FF13 had behemoths super early. Oh, it's casting meteor. Behemoths can do that?
Back.
Well, we're not going back. I'll be honest, I didn't know behemoths could cast magic.
Here it comes.
Rawr! Boop the snoot.
What are we waiting for?
Oh, it has wings. Miss! Oh, those are tail swipe. Oh wait, I totally knew that. But the meteor's a thing for a reason. Where? Camera? Right. Alright, yeah, I can't converse. Hold up. That was a Magnum Malo attack, and you can't tell me otherwise. Oh, of course, you're not able to have a hitbox on that. Yeah, I totally need looking at good cast magic from Monster Hunter. Ouch. Oh, hey, Yosin. Welcome. How you doing? And that is super slow. That. And beam. It's slowly getting up. Okay. Phase transition. Equip. Oh god. I can't jump. No! I'm getting PTSD from Monster Hunter.
Stand back! I'll conjure a ward.
Stealth new person, friends PC? Oh, fun. Oh, I guess Joshua's not doing that. And he didn't put down any boulders. There weren't enough comets.
Desperate times.
Clive, no!
Trust me. I'm your shield, remember?
I'm gonna touch it. I'll be honest, I was not expecting to have, like, cinematic things for a behemoth fight.
I think this might be a job for effort!
Just go, like...
Why would you turn to him, brother?
We can do it together.
When we fight together.
Alright, and now just goes and does it again. Screwed. We did it!
That wasn't too bad.
That was just the beginning.
No, not Maelstrom. No. I don't actually remember the name of that move. I know it was really annoying in Monster Hunter. That is 100% Magnum Malo attack. That's a tail swipe, not a... I think it was a stomp. I thought it was a steppy stomp. Yes! Oh, you did a double.
Too slow.
Double? Oh, you missed.
Nice try.
Oh, okay, we're up here now. Now, I should have been making it more. I don't know. Ah, I didn't get to deal with the thing. I believe his health is going down. Need your... Oh god. Eh. How did that not? Oh, feck off. Ow.
Too slow. Let darkness fall. Too slow.
Oh. Ow, he came through it. You're still taking damage. Ooh, hated dodge it. Ow. Extinction. Oh, I got him. Was I supposed to do that? You just Phoenix dashed at it and it took me into the air. Ah, Behemoth Shackle. Kinda glad that they held on to it till the very end. As opposed to like what they did with 13.
Final Fantasy where the behemoths roam.
With the this text-to-speech hates Que. Hey Hellfire, how you doing?
If it is like the others, the entrance to the inner sanctum will be at the foot of the crystal. We're almost there.
Potten. Hi, Potten. Oh, I didn't think there's gonna be more enemies approaching here. Kinda why I did that. Die. Pulling out the weakened blind level rate. Is this for Mega Man? High potion. Conces. Multi-leg conces.
How do we get through that?
We go around, dummy.
This gate here is open.
Oh, hello. What's these? Wheel of Ice. Rhyme. Insta-kill weak enemies. Very handy. Okay, hi Josh.
KWA.
KWA. I don't think that got it. Kotway. One of these days you will figure out how to get this text-to-speech to say que. Or somebody will.
Cave.
Cave. I like cave. Yeah, I saw a bunch of goons over here too. I'm gonna murder all of them at once. I'll be like right here, and then hope it doesn't line of sight it. Yeah, I think it's hitting everything. Of course. I see a nice row, or a nice line of them. But you think you're so clever standing back here just casting shit. Okay. That didn't break it, seriously? Go away. 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 Oh my god, that did a lot of damage. Oh, I see you over there. That's not right. Get out of there.
KOA, 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 KOA.
What is that symbol? It sounded like it was saying KOA. Right. That's what I need for that. Twig. Huh? Oh, it probably said it, but it was probably... It was too quiet to hear. L underscore. L underscore.
Not what I was expecting.
No. Okay, that's cool. Figured that would be enough to kill him. Where?
Cool.
Oh, that one was close. That one was pretty good. Where? Wait, where do I go? Oh, I couldn't go this way.
Cool.
Q. Yeah, I don't think I knew what to do with the eh. I was thinking KU or KUU for the first part of it.
Once we step onto that bridge, we'll be easy targets.
Oh, wait, try KU WHE
Then we better move quickly.
WHAE
QA.
QA. Yeah, it just did not know what to do. Oh, pistol. Oh, it is also just AoEing them.
QA.
QA. Yeah, what's the, what is the... It's not sports strength.
Come on then.
Oh, hello.
What are you waiting for?
Ow.
To me, Flames!
Protein powder. But I know that that's pronounced way. Kua. I think the Kua was pretty close. I think you're right. Way. Getting closer to being able to level that one up. That's definitely what I want to level up.
Quay.
Quay!
Through the castle then.
I don't see any other way.
You just have a bunch of chocobos in chat right now. Rats. Wheel of Light. Satellite. Whee! I like that one. Whee! Oh, 100 Jill. Huh. So I wonder if it's unable to see, like, the... I wonder if the problem is that it doesn't see the W-E-H, and it's just doing a bunch. Or something, I don't know. No. I think I need like 1800.
Quake 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 quake
Oh,
quake
curl.
quake.
Meow.
Elton's corruption knows no bounds. We cannot allow it to spread any further.
We won't.
Quake 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 quake.
Yeah, I think we should get out of there. And lasers. Yeah, you're good. This should not care about the rewards. They're actually just useless. I mean, the AP rewards are nice. Those are good. Those are good and useful. Potion. No. Blue and yellow, no. Oh, that's where I want to go. So I want to go over there. Aha. Arf. Ooh. It was actually kind of a substantial amount. Oh, wait, that's what the initial cost was, wasn't it? Okay. Well, now I know what I need. Wait. No, okay. Moving on.
There are so many.
Focus, Joshua. We're not done yet.
Bye. That was a satisfying flop. Oh, I thought it was going into a cutscene. Like, I stopped there on purpose, but the way he stopped... So I want to wait for this to come back up. But the way he stopped, I thought it was going into a cutscene. Oh, that was an accidental parry. Oh. The one time I expect more things to spawn, more things don't spawn. Give.
Let's hope this works.
When you say let's hope this works as the gate was moving out of the way. Alright, now what do we fight? Oh, a couple of these goons.
Clive.
Of course there's more. There's always fucking more.
Oh, that hit me. Walk. Ah. Damn. Died. Don't think he's still alive.
You don't want to know. It's over.
Bomb protection! Oh, a flop noise. So good. Now what? Ah, what do you use? Covered in snow. Ow. Come on! I hate the overhead so much. Stop comboing me! That's not what I wanted. I knew that was going to hit me.
Nice try.
I hate these attacks so goddamn much. They're just Elden Ring timing. It's so obnoxious. Yeah, I'm gonna wind up, Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm freaking obnoxious. It's so aggravating. One is aggravating, and I also want to say obnoxious. It's a pain in the ass. And it's just really frustrating because some attack you want to dodge immediately, and then some you don't. Yes, I am. I am having a lot of trouble. I cannot deal with attacks that just are staggered. It's so obnoxious. I hate the invention of it. Just fucking swing. Don't take 10 years to do it. Yeah, get my health back. Also, I could just do without shit comboing the hell out of me. That would be nice. Oh, it's just aggravating in its own right.
There's no end to them. The whole bloody army's here. Stand back, Joshua. I'm summoning Ifrit.
Stop, Clive. You mustn't. We still have a long way to go. If you tap your strength here, you'll have none left to destroy the heart.
Then you'd rather die?
Excuse me? Why did you do that? Oh, I guess since we know that it's abandoned, right? And we don't have to worry about the ship getting destroyed, they were able to come help. Oh, hey, he's here. I really wanted to get jump. I'm so sad I couldn't jump.
She's not alone.
No, we're gonna take care of them. Oh, okay. No, we're gonna go fight. Okay, we're done fighting.
Surprised to see us.
How did you?
Gav. He told us exactly where you'd be. Even sniffed out a crack in the castle wall. And when we saw the heavens come crashing down, we had no choice but to believe him. It's been quite a day.
To what do we owe this honor?
A debt I would see repaid.
Prince Dion. It's good to see you well.
So, this must be Ifrit.
Wow,
Your
rude.
uncle bade me give you a message. Listen to your heart, and guide your steel true. Your father would expect no less. That is all.
Thank you.
For everything, Your Highness.
Dion, please.
You do realize the only thing we've freed so far is this wall from its foundations, right?
Also, how did Dion get here?
Ship's quite finished.
Well said,
I mean,
Gav.
I guess he's Bahamut and he could probably fly, right? But
We have work to do.
how would he know where to find us?
don't suppose there's how I can say to make you change your mind. So I'll just tell you to stay safe. Nan won't take kindly to losing her best customer, especially after letting us carry all this stuff all the way to Ash.
And we wouldn't want to anger old Nan.
You mean, you'll buy some off us? Welcome to the Big Hammer.
Wait, this means he can also build the best weapon in existence. I don't think I want to do that. The Sons of Ouroboros. Numph. To be fair, I'm not going to be able to do this until I get those anyway, but...
You
yeah,
don't
I'm not
want
going
me
to worry
to
about
make
it.
yours out else? Let me show you me wares.
Defender.
You've got everything you need then?
You can't upgrade
Anything
Defender.
else I can make for you? Is there
Probably no point in doing
else
this.
you
I'll
need?
probably find more potions anyway. But... I guess I put that from someone else? Channeler's Trident. Channeler's Trident. Oh, I wonder if those stack. I doubt it. Because it did not let me equip a +1 when I had the original.
You've got everything you need then?
I got everything I need then. And now I can do this. Which adds significantly more strikes to it, so hopefully that'll build it up even more betterer. You know what? They're gonna talk to Torgal instead! I was trying to talk to Jill, I didn't know I could talk to Torgal.
Each parting brings the hope of reunion. I missed you, Clive.
I missed you too.
Hello, Gav.
If Sid were here today, I reckon he'd be proud of you, Clive.
He'd be proud of us all.
Yeah, I kinda appreciate that. It's just short and sweet.
There is still much I would learn of your tale, once this day is done. Until then, all who might come between me and such knowledge shall answer to my spear.
I do not envy them.
Surely there's no side quests available, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and save. This will probably be the last save I get in. Alright, time for cutscene.
You see, Clive, we're not alone. If we are to win the day, we must all play our part. And ours. Ours lies beyond those doors.
At once.
We fought long and hard for this moment. Sid's dream, our dream, is within our grasp.
We need only endure this final trial, and we shall. Together.
You all know what it is that awaits us beyond this gate.
Oh, wait, are they going with us?
And we shall face it together.
Aye.
Ah, here we go. An excuse for everybody else except us to stay behind.
It seems our hosts would rather we remain. I will stay them.
We will stay them. Go!
Just don't keep us waiting.
Thank you.
Good job, Torgal.
No!
Teleport!
Come back.
What?
Question. Is Gav a bearer? Or is he just a normal swordsman? I don't think he's shown off any kind of power.
Joshua!
He's fine.
Joshua! Wake up!
Clive, is that you?
I can't see.
This isn't stone here.
Yeah, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Welcome to our darkness. A rift between worlds wherein your kind might reflect.
Show yourself!
Grave and many are the sins of man. And we would have you know them.
Know your
all
place.
of them. As fate has seen fit to deliver you home, consider this our welcoming gift.
It would seem we are trapped.
And the only way out is through Ultima. We find him, and we leave.
The interdimensional rift. This place is very dark. Oh, I guess it's like that on purpose. You know, as much as I complain about motion blur, I think that's the first time I've noticed it other than when I had originally noticed it at the very beginning. Maybe it's not that bad. Albeit some games are just abhorrent with it. Hello, I'm going to talk to you. Are you going to throw spells at
If
me?
you are to comprehend the full extent of your transgressions, we
Transgression?
must go back to the beginning. When the world was still young, we visited upon it a miracle, magic, and in its light did all life flourish. Yet the price for this boon would prove heavy. A pall descended upon the land, painting the horizon black as night. Though we labored to forestall its spread, in this one endeavor, we stood powerless. And so we fled, that we might endure, that we might discover a means of salvation.
What if it was magic that caused the blight? What of the mother crystals?
I expect he'll tell us soon enough.
Blur is evil and a crime against video games. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was not an option to turn off in this game. But like I said, I also haven't noticed it until just that one moment. That and the side at the beginning. Perhaps I just got used to it. And then forgot about it. What's the point of this walking segment? There's nothing here to fight, there's nothing... Just like letting everything marinate, I guess?
Salvation, alas, was not readily to be had. First, we would require a land unvisited by the stain of corruption. An unprecedented journey lay before us, one beyond the limits of our fleshly bodies. And so we cast them off. Thus, stripped to our very spirit, did we find our new paradise. A land as pure as driven snow. Valisthea. There would the true work begin. For the black crept yet behind us. And soon did we arrive at a solution. The illness having spread to every organ, there was but one escape from this fate, to start afresh.
With a new world. The one for which Barnabas labored. A paradise free from the blight where his God awaits. And where, if we only forfeit our wills and abandon everything we hold dear, humanity can join him. So, Ultima would have us follow in the footsteps of the king.
And follow we shall. For now.
Oh, thank you. You could have just, done that beforehand. I guess you wanted to show off that you can build stairs.
To forge a new world would require not only power, but a constitution strong enough to wield it. Acquiring the first would be simple. Untouched by the blight, Valisthea was replete with ether, and we had only to place jewels in her crown to claim it. Acquiring the second, however, demanded creativity. And so I cast forth the seeds of humanity.
You created us.
Is that not what gods do? We sowed the seeds for you, Muthos, all that you might one day blossom. And our future thus secured, we thought to slumber, though that would prove a grave mistake. For it was as we slept that man committed his greatest sin. He awoke. Alone in a world bereft of his God's radiance, he stumbled blindly, desperate for guidance. Finding no light, he sought to kindle his own. And from that single errant impulse was his will born. Having discovered himself at last, man turned his eyes inward and found he desired evermore that which only magic might afford. So wars were waged and brothers slain for custody over that dwindling resource. And the land, she wept tears of black.
He would condemn us for this. Surely he cannot be so blind to his own hypocrisy.
Not blind, just unwilling to admit the truth. But we're one and the same.
Oh, what do we have over there? Borgle.
Is that?
Ifrit, or what's left of him.
That's just a vision of Ifrit.
Long have our ashes lain cold for want
Snoot.
of a spark. Cast your eyes upon them and see what you must become.
Oh, he's a small.
Valisthea cannot endure a second claim upon her being. The avarice of man drives her ever closer to destruction. But she may yet be saved by you. It is what you were born to do, why we nursed you and fed you, as your own mother should have. And now that you are fully grown, our Muthos, it is time at last for you to serve your purpose.
Nah, I'm good. We're
To
good.
right your wrongs. If our sin is wanting to survive, then you are as marked by it as we are. The fault is yours. Our wills were born because you abandoned us. And now, you would have us forfeit them. All for a place in your new paradise.
Do you imagine yourselves worthy of one? Mankind has no place in our world. Is this truly so difficult to comprehend? We only ever require you, Muthos, when the time comes to bid this wretched realm farewell. None shall follow, none shall remain.
What do you mean, none?
This is our world. Once the land's rebirth is complete, humanity will have served its purpose. Why would we continue to suffer that which has caused us so much vexation?
Because the land doesn't belong to you. It belongs to us all! What?
That is where you are mistaken. You own nothing but your precious will.
Brother.
Brother! Roxas! If only Clive's hair was brown, then he could be Terra.
And you don't have to.
I grow weary of your dissent. Now you must learn that this master will not tolerate disobedience.
This master. I'm so confused what Joshua has sealed inside of him. Is it just a portion of Ultima?
We have all suffered, all fought to survive. This world may be flawed. It may be broken. But it's all we have. And if we can't share it, I see only one other choice.
Because it's also the source
You
was
have to
perpetually
go.
killing him. So hey, Archibun. Yes, go.
You may have created us, Ultima. But it's time we lived on our own terms. This isn't your world anymore. It's ours.
Bow down, offenders, hearts disdained.
Ow. Oh. Ow. I missed. Are you kidding me? I went the wrong way with that. Miss. Ow. Ow. What did I see? Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, that was designed to roll catch. Again, that was designed to roll catch. I hate that. Oh, it did 0 damage. I can't see what's happening. Dancing Steel. Slap. Double? Yep. Ah, I didn't get it. Now what are you doing?
Such foul attaint may not be sublimed through gain.
Don't call me a taint. That's rude.
Only with heads hung low is penance paid.
I don't want to pay penance. Event Horizon.
Of contrition. In fitting season shall we reap our harvest.
Son of a basket. Please don't, thank you. Nice. you? I was still in that? I didn't try and dodge a second time.
Nice try. Too slow. Nice try.
I can't see what's happening. Damn it! Of course. God, did you attack faster, please? Oh, no, Far disappeared. So you're doing something else
Gifted
now.
this chance, and still you would raise your hand against the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
What now? The darkness bends. He means to end us.
No, he doesn't.
First time.
He's just trying to push us to merge together.
Last.
Your fate is inexorable.
Deliver.
Surrender the vessel unto the darkness. Surrender it unto us.
Fine hand.
Oh, of course, you gotta need Bar back. Ooh, I wonder if he's gonna get parry damage. Yeah, of course he moved. Yeah, let me dodge it. Oh! That's why that happened.
That's better.
Let me do this real quick. Give me some of that gray health back. Jesus Christ. Eternal Darkness. Yeah. Pop, pre-parry. What was that grunt? Alright. And now what are you going to do? Oh, those aren't active, I see. I knew that was going to happen. Oh, you're out of health. Ultima's not vanquished, you're taking the piss game. You and I both know this is gonna be like... Ooh... a lot skewed. You and I both know games. There's gonna be like a 7-stage boss fight. This is a Squeenix game.
At last,
Kingdom Hearts had like 11-stage
countless
boss fight.
generations have we awaited this moment. Your struggles have made you strong, yet your soul remains heavy with sin.
Do you not have teeth? Why is there just a black void in his mouth?
Absolution is nigh. Repent, and all shall be forgiven.
How are you talking if you don't have a tongue? Doesn't that make it difficult? Why is Jill talking to herself? That's so sad. Jill has no one to talk to except herself. You could have just had young Jill talking to young Clive or something, I don't know.
Tell me, Clive, how many lives have you saved since taking my name?
Fewer than we have ruined. Wherever we go, we leave a sea of tears in our wake.
These are the wages of your will, son.
What good are our choices when all they ever bring, all they will ever bring, is death?
There's no atoning, Clive. No matter how hard you try.
Almost sound like Vanille.
So why not leave it all behind?
Why isn't Joshua ganging up on him?
Leave it all behind.
Please, won't somebody save me? Won't anybody love me?
I yearn, yet still she is not mine. Have I not given enough?
From will is born desire, and it is this
You're just a
which
creation of
consumes
Odin.
you,
Why are you here?
rendering you incomplete.
Do you not see how the world bends and warps under the weight of your hungering hearts? What if it could all just go away?
That's right.
Just
Is the name of Odin's horse, isn't it?
Clive!
Zarya? Yeah, it is.
None of this is real. Wake up. It's time to go home, Clive. That's right. You're my brother.
Brother.
That his head empty, no thoughts. The thing that he kept in his chest for all those years. Guess that might actually be Phoenix Down, isn't it?
Come. Remember who you are.
Clive.
Once more, lest you forget.
My name is Clive. Clive Rossfield. Look, Ultima.
Even here, the light of the vessel's will cannot be quenched. And the Phoenix, his trespass should not have been possible. Not possible unless he has been with Muthos all along. The mark of the Phoenix, emblazoned upon his heart, made manifest by the power of will alone. The power of creation. Can it be? Are their wills truly so potent?
Are you still talking?
I feel like this is exactly what he wants, though, right? Because now the vessel will be complete. Cool sun. That looks like it hit behind him. He goes on the top layer there.
It is deviation, and herefrom does Logos rise.
I have a feeling the bitrate might go to die. It's a lot of particles. If the fireball didn't already kill it. Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. I think I'll always be inclined to finish that little tidbit because I can count the pixels. Because of fuse and dust. Lizine tail.
That.
Sorry to wake you, but I think it may be time to leave. This place.
How? We got teleported here. And we didn't do it ourselves. Is there any way to fix that? Does anybody know? Or is it just that if there's too many particles or effects, there's just nothing you can do about it?
Stray from the path laid before it. Steeped in conceit, you fancy yourself a god. You embrace Logos. But we will put an end to this hubris.
What are you talking about?
In the halls of origin does our true power quicken. And there shall you be made complete. Soon, Muthos, Soon you will discover how little you know of suffering.
Oh, well thank you for taking us out of here. Twinside, Holy Empire of Sonrek. Oh yeah, that's where he was. That's where he started the storm.
And so the crystals are no more. Yet in their silence, a new song rings.
Wait. So, huh?
Its chorus building. A crescendo as it enters its final movement.
So that Ultima he just killed was the crystal?
Stirring those long aslumber to waking.
I guess.
And back to their origin.
Of course. It can't be a JRPG-esque game without a floating island final fight.
Bloody crystal's cracked. So where the hell are they?
Bloody hell, what's that?
Oh, fuck me.
Is that ether?
Ah, spears are so cool.
What in good Grieger's name is going on?
This is wrong.
Oh, perfect. Hello. We're back.
Are we back?
Clive! Joshua!
Jill! Is everyone all right?
We're fine. What happened?
Too much to explain here. Mate! We're leaving! Now!
Poke.
Everyone, fall back to the ship!
You know, that axe still should have fallen on his shoulder. Even if that thing did die instantly.
I will be with you anon.
Thank you.
I feel like Dion has like a death wish. Maybe he's got a lot to work through. Yump. Dreams were so cool. Oh, okay. I'll stay here for like 30 more seconds, and then I'll leave. Okay. You better not give me a bunch more side quest game. Although, if there's extra hunts to do, I'll do that. Back to their origin.
I need to tell everyone what happened at Drake's Spine. And I'm going to need Otto's help.
Why are you gonna need Otto's help for that? Hello, Mog. Goober Mog. Agni. Okay. Let's grab a snapshot of these real quick. And see if the game will let me leave. Going to... They're both in Waloed, so we'll go there first. Assuming it'll let me leave. Okay. I need to go talk to Sid. I need to go talk to Otto. Leaves. Here we are. Oh, it's still blocked off. Rip. So I didn't see any side quests, did I? I don't think so. I need to go find Goober. Where's the Goober at? Yeah, I'm just gonna keep running around. I'll find him eventually. That it was here, so. Let's go this way. That kind of looks like an arena up there. Oh, passive. Hey, listen. Okay, maybe not so much. Oh wait, hold on. Hey, you are. Gobbermock. Really hoping to parry that. Did you not goblin punch me?
Too slow.
Oh yeah, I can just go nuts on you. Because I can't break you. quite finished. Nice. Okay, where's the other one? Oh, wait, what did it give me?
Journey ends here.
Let's see. Half comb. Battle horn, probably. Angry Gap. Here maybe? There's no point in fast traveling there. Edge of Infinity. Oh, is that the beach we were at? Oh, I think it was. Is. Give me you. Clutch mine. Okay. Do you remember being over here? Why wasn't the map filled out, I wonder? Be convenient if you were here. Nice. Hey there. Hey feller. Agni.
Look who's here to meet us. Pity they don't seem fond of visitors.
Ow. Off it. Ow. That's not water. Silly lizard.
Nice try.
It wasn't doubled. I remember that attack and not being able to dodge it ever. Why didn't I dodge? Why are you still standing? Nobody ever would have really picked the combo up. mind me, I'm just standing in the fire water. I hate that so much.
Come on! Too slow.
Are you kidding me? Whatever. Must course correct or something. I remember if I would get the early dodge on them previously, it would just not give me a good dodge, but I would still avoid the attack. Any day you want to work phone, that would be wonderful. Bitch. The Croc. Oh, I vaguely remember that place. There it is. Let's go here first and grab more potions.
Do you see anything you like?
Ouch.
I do like a customer who knows what he wants. You've a keen eye.
You just bought potions. Wait, was it you? Was you? Well, I guess this is moderately closer. Not by much, though. Chocobo. Oh, sweet, free potion.
Alright.
Don't attack my bed, please. Going south. I have a feeling I'm not going to get all the materials I want for final sword, but well, I can try. The Imperial Chase. Yo, another potion. Nice.
Back to the stables, girl.
Oh, wait a second. You know what? Hold on. Nice. I'm leaving. So this one was an unknown. Oh, is it a orb? It's an orb. What was the name of this one? Terminus. Alright, let's not randomly die to this time.
Looks like we're working something up. There's only one thing for it.
Oh right, my dodge is different. I have the sword out. Bahamut, let darkness fall. Hey, Rob! Yeah! I mean, for what it's worth, I ended up missing Monday and Tuesday of last week, so something it balances out. How you doing, Rob? Super hot here. 30 plus. That's like around 90, I think? Oh boy. I see, that's why you're here.
Sweet dreams.
You are struggling with the sleeping, aren't you? Alright, that one's dead. Let's see. Titan's Wake. Yeah. This button. Oh, perfect. Which side? That's probably the little thing right there. I just wanted to be here. Aw. Well, thanks for turning up. Always a pleasure to see you. Bird. I get to ride Big Bird.
Fly, Ambrosia. All right.
I am glad that bird has good vertical leap. Oh, it's here.
Straight home now.
Ah, you. Powered up version. What is that? Ugh, that emote is terrifying. I do not like. Oh, it is cursed! Yeah, that's appropriate. Oh, you started on that side. Yes! Ow. Is this all you're going to do? Do not shoulder charge me. Wait. Oh. There's the shoulder charge. Ow. That one of these. kitty. You are in my lap now. Please behave. Destrudo. I don't know if I have the space to do this. And shoulder charge? Okay. On top of me, that's fine. Laser beam. Excuse me? I love him. Just trying to kill for this. There we go. Oh, I got one of the things that I needed.
Don't come back.
I don't think he can come back. Man. Yeah, that's kind of something that's just lived with me for a very long time. It's just like some like little... Like so... A game that I
dangerous world
don't want to say played a lot as a kid, but maybe like left a large impression on me as a kid was Tales of Symphonia.
You'll not find a better price than that.
One of the things that it did leave an impression on me was their little like after combat quotes or after killing something quotes.
Finished, are you?
It's like pretty much the reason I'll just say out of my sight when I kill something. One of the characters did that. And that thing that I just said there, where it's like I don't think they can come back. That's another little tidbit where it's just like one of the characters will say, and don't come back. And then another one's just like, I don't think they can come back. It's just a funny little haha, I guess. Wait. You are slipping out of my lap. Oh, you're such a liquid. Yeah, this is when being a liquid cat doesn't work for you, huh?
Should last you a good while. No scratches, all right? Not my best work, but it'll do. You can thank me later.
Okay, marginal upgrades that probably don't really mean much. Just need one more dark steel. I did need that horn.
Anything else?
Very close. God, that emote is so cursed. Alright. Let us carry on. Hello, Mog. Alright, I'll go on. Alright, Alto, time for some cutscenes. If any side quests show up, I'm not doing them. I'm gonna focus on the main story now.
It's a
I
long
said if
story.
hunts show up...
One that I'd rather only tell once. Right. All hands on deck then. Is this everyone?
all the important cast, at least.
As I'm sure you've all guessed, the crystal which now commands the eastern skies was summoned by Ultima. He called it Origin. Though the significance of that name is as yet unclear.
What does it matter what it's called? Its emergence tore Twinside asunder and wiped my homeland from the map.
Mention of the Dominion spires can be found in the oldest of Valisthian records. But to the best of my knowledge, none provide any hint as to their true nature. That they would prove the horns of some slumbering demon. Well...
The Dominion's demise was at least quick. Elsewhere, the Republican army cannot hope to contain the chaos engulfing Randalar. Canberra is in flames, and the Empire.
Our allies are crying out for answers. I've sent the Cursebreakers to give them what assurances we can, but right now that amounts to fuck all.
They wouldn't be able to stop what the skies have started in any case. People here and across the realm grow sicker with every passing day.
Could it be that this new mother
You've seen
crystal
better
is
immune
like the
systems,
others?
obviously.
That it draws upon the land's ether? It certainly looked that way from stone here.
If that were true, it would explain the hastening spread of the Blight since the crystal's appearance. Would it not?
And as the land's ether slowly rises to the surface, it pools, corrupting all who cannot channel its energies. Archaea above, ether floods below, and in the middle, here we languish, hopelessly entrapped.
It's all right. When we faced him at Stone here, Ultima told us his true power quickens in the halls of Origin. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to continue. If we are to stop him, we will have to find a way into the crystal.
How are we going to manage that then? It's up in the sky. And fast as she is, the Enterprise can't fly.
It's a lot to take in, and I reckon we'd all benefit from some time to clear our heads. The answer will come to us. Don't you worry. Ain't that right, Clive?
Right. That's right.
Well, go on then. Bugger off. Same goes for you, Clive. You won't solve anything like this. Trust me. Go and get some fresh air, eh?
I mean, we're kind of already outside anyway.
Thank you.
No, I used just soft kitty.
Joshua seemed upset.
Hey Joshua, how you doing? Nice butt. I wonder if he's upset because it's not over.
Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. But a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it, it won't be easy. It may take generations, centuries of suffering. And that is if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. You certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are. And what of my wings?
Oh yeah, you have wings.
Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god.
And Shiva can fly too.
Succumb to fatigue before
Actually, Ifrit and Titan are like the only ones that can't.
Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
Oh, is Dion gonna sacrifice himself?
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides...
Yeah.
I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
Much to answer for, General.
We are in your debt, Dion. We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to, does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope she understands.
I'm just curious if any side quests are going to pop up. I wish she's in his room. Now let's go get our lore master update. Hello, Hecatonka leaves. Wait, that's definitely
Good
the
morrow
wrong
to you, my friend.
existence.
I have a few new notes that might interest you.
Clive tells Hippocrates of his adventures. Nice. Recorder
I have
of
quite
the
the
realm.
find for you today.
The only picture of her is the nude Ultima version.
What subject shall we consider today?
Doesn't say anything about him being
Did you learn
bearer.
everything you needed?
At least from what I skimmed. I think he's just a normal dude. Which honestly kind of speaks volumes to his character. Especially when you consider, like, literally everybody else who's important that has been around him is some level of magic. Aside from Mid and Uncle. A new life. While the going was slow and not without the occasional run-in with some straggling ore, I saw Etta back to the safe of the Shadow Coast, where Mid was waiting kindly with the Enterprise. On the voyage home, I like to think the poor lass opened up a little, telling us about her life and the life she wanted for her baby. But I suppose it's up to us now to make certain the little one gets it. Oh, the door's already open. Hello, Jill. Can I make you a sandwich?
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything.
Ah, there's the side quest. Jesus Christ. Oh my god! Excuse me, game? Yeah, none of these are pluses. I'm not doing them. They're just multiplying. They're like rabbits. Make for origin. Let's do just that. Well, somebody knows which of these quests will give me the last black steel that I need. Because I'm fairly certain side quests. Yeah, definitely. I know some of the side quests. Wait, what does Joshua want? Oh, hold on, I might do yours. There's some nice story ones. Okay, question. Am I able to do them all after I make for Origin? Like, if I go and progress the main story now, am I going to miss out on quests? Because if that is the case, I kind of am forced to do them. So I don't want to just skip out on that kind of stuff.
Again. Allow me to educate you.
Here you are. Very good.
I might do Joshua's just because it's Joshua's. Yote.
How are you doing? Anything catch your eye?
You don't remember? Well,
seen enough?
We'll look at everybody's quest. Mid probably has one. I think I will do Joshua's at the very least. I'm curious to see what his is going to be. Let's see, who's this? I don't care. Then this will be mid. It is not. It's the other guys. Wait, what? Oh, are they in... No? Wait, how do I get over there? Wait, how do I get over there? What? Wiggity swooty. Not blind, am I? Is there another staircase going down?
What do you think happened to us?
Whatever should I write next?
That's something I could do. I could just accept all of them. Then at the very least, that'll tell me what one I need to go hunt something for.
With what?
Also, I need to turn this back on.
You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions, did you?
No. Well, yes. But that's not what we want to talk to you about.
It's Miss Mididol. She's been acting strange. Very strange. She's barely ever around.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
Okay, he said it wrong.
In the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind.
Does she get
When
to the
did you last
clouds
see her?
very often?
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you from Stoneir.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Mididol's inventions. Don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together, couldn't you?
But who's gonna put Miss Mididol back together? She seems really sad.
I'm worried about Mid
Why
myself.
don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? For us? She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare him. It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the warning.
Ooh. I'll talk to her though. How do I get down there? I'm not crazy. There was a quest that was below me, right?
Has Mididol mentioned a new project yet?
I will not let it be forgotten. Sid, may I have a moment?
Of course.
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time now.
Herman.
And
Gregory James.
I wish to be
is
deployed
having
to
a
Ash.
ball.
Any assignment will do.
No. The lands across the Narrow are too dangerous. I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly.
There's also literally nothing there.
I need to retrieve something. Something important.
Oh, I'll do
I was
that.
Raised in an orphanage. The Badbach Conservatory.
Oh, it's over there.
I was held captive there. It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into mindless weapons. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone. and few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. I can't even remember all their names, but they must be remembered. They cannot fade away, faceless and forgotten. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured, every name recorded, every death logged with meticulous care. Sid, allow me to travel to Ash and recover the registry so that my brothers and sisters might live on.
No, I'll do it.
You are a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please. Even should it cost me my life.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. But not for me. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vida Grace.
You've already found it, dummy.
In a forest, overlooking the plains.
All right. I'll see what I can find there.
May the mothers guide you.
Litany of errors. I thought there was a quest that was down below me. Okay. I'm guessing Mid just needs something, so I'll go talk to her. Basically only care about people giving me a hunt quest. So I probably will do Joshua's. Just 'cause I'm curious what it is.
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this
Then
does
you
it to
skip
the skies,
dialogue.
nothing will!
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's
There
with the
you go.
sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First, I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if a godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordil. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs to.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the curse breakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some.
Nah.
You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
There is a quest over there. Am I just seeing these through the floor? I guess there's like literally no depth perception. Hello, Gov.
All right, Sid. Come to buy us around, have you?
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your travels across the realm. Any ideas?
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em hard enough and they'll break. If it's durability you're looking for, shell will serve you better. You know what an adamantus is?
I do. And I know to give them a wide berth. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Karava, near Old Bidza. Or what's left of the village, anyway. But don't expect to make quick work of the bastard. There's a reason it's lived as long as it has.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Interesting. Hello, Joshua. What's on your mind?
Ah, Clive.
It's about Origin.
This is it then, brother.
Our last dance with Ultima awaits. Only the Founder knows what awaits us up there.
Indeed.
But whatever we find, we shall overcome it. It would not do to disappoint our friends. They all believe in you, Clive. They would follow you to the ends of the earth if they could.
You're wrong.
My friends don't follow me. They spur me on. I couldn't have made it this far without them. Nor without you, Joshua. You gave me your blessing and made me your shield. Without you, I don't know how I would have even survived. Even when we were apart, you were always with me, and I trust you'll be with me until the end.
Of course.
Whenever that may be.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's... not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will. Or something akin to it.
His will?
Like his last will and testament?
Where?
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... would you join me?
Of course.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Prioritize. Hello, Doris.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
I'll do it. Oh, we go together.
Leading the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay
We
no
go
longer than we have
together.
to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had
Oh, that's
to
a spider.
family.
Kill it, please.
Thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
Fuck spiders.
As do I, Doris.
Awful, awful creatures. Nobody's tool. Ah, I might do your quest too. I like you. Origin. You are set out on this planet of yours. Are you set on this planet of yours? I am.
Huh.
You never were one to shy away from a fight. Some might say it runs in the family. Ha! Your father would be proud.
Thank you, Uncle.
I know he'll be with us up there.
As for down here...
You may take comfort in the knowledge that the realm will be in my capable hands until your return. Ha 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 ha! Indeed. Freeze company.
Clive, my boy!
My boy.
Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved. But such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive.
Oh,
You're like a
Rutherford.
terrible nobleman.
That's right.
But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could,
there's
of course,
like no
but
structure
the
left in
old goat
place,
was
so are we
adamant
really
that
an
he'd be
outlaw
allowed
at this
to
point?
appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Like, any...
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns,
Any
we will never build a
structures
better
of
world.
power, I feel like have
whatever it
completely
takes.
fallen at this
And if
point.
the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send the
Nah.
Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No.
Thank you.
Clive.
Oh, I missed another person over there. It really is a shame they couldn't have worked these quests in better. They're literally just dumping them at the end of the game. Are you... In case you haven't noticed, your poor hound spends all his time of late on the rear deck whimpering like Gav in his cup. Something ain't right, and my gut tells me it's not to do with the supply of antelope bones. Okay, I might do Torgal quest as well.
What is it this time, Torgal?
Molten words. Renew an ancient power. Search a lost home. Reluctant as I am to add to your burdens, I would ask your aid in a personal matter, albeit one that may be beneficial to your cause. There exists ancient texts deemed so injurious to modern thought that a mere possession is deemed a crime, and it was a chance encounter with one such tome from a distance that sparked within me the scholastic curiosity which burns to this very day. I wish to enlist your aid in reclaiming that text. Should you require further incentive, know that I am willing to offer compensation for services rendered.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
An inconvenient truth. You know, when you don't, like, prioritize the quest, it kind of makes that awkward. What? Another bug in here? No. Okay. Who are you?
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Curse Breakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but why this one?
Because
he's my son.
He wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots.
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
My time is yours.
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be
Is that
attending his
man-
trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
What the fuck? That man lost. I have external cameras around my house, and I thought a naked man was just out there walking with
somewhere closer.
just barefoot with probably an alcohol in their hands. Looked like it was a beer bottle.
Vivian.
I think they were just like in gym shorts.
You find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated.
Oh, visit Torgal. Right. Yes, I want to do this one and Joshua's. God, it's gonna take so fucking long. I'm not finishing this game tonight. I can't afford to stay up late. I guess if I had stuck to what I said earlier about not doing any side quests... Yeah, it's just that I'm paranoid it's not gonna let me go back and do them. I want to like do some of the important ones.
Pining for something, boy.
I guess I can always just load the game.
What is it? What do you see out there?
I don't imagine there's gonna be ending affecting things.
Never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want my iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long.
Bark.
Let's get that thing off you.
Whoa.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed.
So he's
You
missing
miss it as
Sid
much as
then?
the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
No, she probably has a soft spot for wolfies.
Where to then, Torgal?
Oh, I wonder if this quest is going to be completed here. Hello, Torgal.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west. Toward Rosaria.
Bork.
Why don't we try the rookery?
The rookery? What is that?
I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
Looks like we get to go to a unique place then. There's way too many quests. Way too many. Sure.
Clive, my boy.
Because if it's gonna take me another 6 hours, I'm definitely not finishing that tonight.
There's something I need to ask you.
If it's like an
I've
hour,
been charged with locating a
I could
book
maybe do
called
it.
From a Distance.
But I highly doubt it's gonna be. I bet there's an hour of cutscenes alone
One whose name I
left.
had not thought to hear from your lips.
That's just executing gameplay.
You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Hour and a half.
Coveters of Secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks. Chronicling as it does,
let's finish up these two
true
side quests
history
then,
of
and I'll
the
have to
enslavement
finish
of
tomorrow.
bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the Executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the Executors, yes.
I keep reading that word as executioner. Not
Self-interest
executor.
or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be
There's
sure
a
to
lot
pay
of
Garnick a
side
visit.
quests in Waloed. Okay. Let's go to Torvald. Or Isolde. You know, I was kind of joking when I said that there'd be an hour of cutscenes alone, but given, like, during the story beats, given the ratio between gameplay and cutscene, that is actually probably accurate. If it's, like, roughly an hour and a half left. It might be closer to, like, 40 minutes, but even still.
It's still here. After all these years. Lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy.
No.
I wasn't being serious.
Torvald just told him no.
I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure.
Oh, I didn't realize he was
We
still
won't be
with
long.
me.
Hop in, boy.
And the boat sinks. No. I promise, I'm not trying to clickbait with the titles. This game just keeps going on. It's been ending for... It has been, like...
This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you.
I don't... How would you beat a dog in a foot race as a human?
Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal?
Torgal's important enough to get full attention.
Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy?
Armor?
This is all from the castle. Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here?
Oh, is that Joshua? I guess it is just a stick. How did he get... I guess he can jump good. That's been established.
You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal, for never giving up, for never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either.
No way that sword should be that big. He was training with it as a kid. It should be a bit smaller.
That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal.
I know. I've got more to show you, idiot.
All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going.
This is cute. Oh, we're going to look out at the kingdom. Awoo!
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
Aww. More than words. Just dog. Charred sparring sword. Increase Torgal's attack potency. I don't use Torgal that much. Though he does fight by himself. Cyril. Where is that? I need I. I. What's in your shop?
Are you buying or selling?
Oh my god. Oh, well, actually that's not much because it's that's a hits a bunch move. That's actually not that great.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
I know that I ask much of you in the coming war, but I see no way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet, even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms, and only with all Rosaria striving as one might we at last overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way. It shall likely fall to you to continue my work. I know that you have the strength. Oh, my beloved sons. Okay, that's who he's addressing. I know you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. This shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for the both of you. Your father, Elwyn.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Where's the archive? Okay, it's over here.
This is the required tree. An archive where we will be undying.
Hello, Cyril's guest. How are you?
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady.
Perhaps you could explain a little more. What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
Titan's
You
Wake.
are most perceptive, Your Grace.
Isn't that where the other thing was?
In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Ah, I see. It's right before. But yeah, it is the same location, basically. Alright, let's go fight this Griffin. Just throws. Right, so I should have ridden Chocobo. Oh well. Oh wait, no, hold on.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
Ah, there's the Griffin. Shimmerg.
There it is. The House Rosfield.
The hell is going on behind me? It didn't let me dodge. Are you kidding me? Ooh, parry. No, I bet Phoenix does less damage. Should probably use that one. Damn it! This is gone for Odin.
Nice try.
Oh, great. Yay! Didn't move. Down the trash can. I don't think I can hit you from here. I'm gonna hit you with a bird. I didn't kill you though.
It's over.
Wait, what? Did it somehow get left with 1 health? That's weird. It was casting something, maybe? Heart stones ×2.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Alright, back to the obelisk. Back to Tobor. And back to old lady. Schmurg.
Welcome, welcome.
Also, isn't that the name of...
Of course.
the Queen of the Valkyries? Or no, that's Freya. Right? Isn't Schmurg like also like really high on that food chain?
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Here you go. Here's your hot stones.
Yes. This radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
No,
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith.
She is short,
The
but we're
armbands
tall.
are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It
That's
symbolizes
the same gem.
unwavering will
This
and
is the-
devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone
They're same family, I think.
represent the unbreakable
They're all
bonds
emeralds, I think.
between you.
It's a message. Father
It just
knew we
depends
had
on the
enemies
chemical
both
makeup inside of
and
it.
outside the duchy.
But they're all like
Enemies who would thwart his vision.
truly emeralds or something.
Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms, only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise
Rooms.
that he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray
Wow, you didn't
us.
say anything? Are you
I tried to
kidding
warn
me?
your father, but it was too late.
Okay.
When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its person. And so
Oh,
my
I see.
pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that his Grace's will had been recovered. And that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha,
So that's why she kept an eye on it.
behalf of
She was
my
waiting for it to
father
die of natural
and
causes.
all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning.
Founder's Grasp. Is that actually something I can equip? Oh, it wanted me to walk out.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Should we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee,
I don't
claim
remember
it,
his helmet.
for it too is
I don't
a
think he ever
part of
wore
your
one in our
inheritance,
presence.
and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Where's that? I'm assuming it's over here. Here we are. Hawk's Cry Cliff. Birds. That's what that is.
Unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
So, the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there.
I found this so long ago. I had no idea what it was, but now I do.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
Horrible.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
If this is a horror game, that would be spoopy.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Rusted battle helm. Joining hands with Joshua. Joshua has joined Clive's party and will remain with him until departing for Origin. Well, why was that important to tell me? So he was only with me because I had started that quest, and that's why there's that tidbit with Torgal. He's like, I'll stay here, because he was with me on that. There's another quest here? I thought I picked them all up. Somebody sent me a message. Don't tell me Torgal's down in the dumps again. Also, let me get my gear real quick. Wait. Where's the bracelet? It's not armor, is it? Oh wait, it might be. Nice. When did I get that? Rusted battle helm. Charred sparring sword. Okay, who sent me a message? Concern for Jill? Okay, I'll probably do this one too. Though her icon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart. And we would be poor friends indeed if we not seek to lighten that burden. Even if only a fraction, before we depart for the skies, I would speak on this more in private. Now you see...
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
You see, that specifically makes it seem like this quest is missable. Because he said he wants to do it before we go out. Now, it could be typical story-driven game thing? I don't know. Where when you beat the game and you get like where you get one clear of the game, it reverts you back before you entered the final battle, therefore making it not missable. And you can just like kind of keep repeating it a bunch if you wanted to. Alright, but it is 11 o'clock. I will do the Jill side quests, because he specifically said to do it before we leave. Also. Just in case. Just in case things get borked and you can miss quests. That is where I shall leave it, though. Okay. Maybe I'll do a poll. Figure out if people want to see all the side quests before wrapping everything